Welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look at all the new books coming out this new comic book day, Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. So I'm going to give you a rundown of all the things on my pull list, top of the pile type stuff, some variants that might be coming out, and some things you probably should keep an eye on as you go to your shop this Wednesday to pick up your books. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro and I will be right back. Well, all right, let's start it off here with the top of the stack. This are those top of the pile type books, those comics that I just can't wait to get a hold of and actually read to continue the storylines that I've been keeping up with the last few months, if not last few years. Let's see what we got for you this week on the pile. First book up I want to talk about is this one that I actually am kind of surprised. I want to check it out because I don't regularly read Fantastic Four, but with the new movie coming out, yes, there's a little bit of curiosity and excitement that goes along with that. So I plan to check this out. Plus, the art by Humberto Ramos is kind of drawing me in here. I like his style and I dig this look, so I'll give it a shot. I don't know how long I'll stay on board because, again, I'm not a big FF reader personally, but I'll give it a try, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. So I'll give this one a go this week. A lot of covers here and a lot of storyline to catch up on, etc. I mean, you got the whole One World Under Doom still going. Like I said, they got their movie coming out in a couple of weeks, but lots of covers here. This is the Ramos one on the cover A. We do have some other options here. I believe this is an Alan Davis. Then we do got some other here. We got an Alex Ross. And then, yes, there's a blank we're mixing in there. What else do we got here? We got some other options as well. We've got some movie design studio type covers. We've got the stupid Disney things. I know, I'm just over these things. And even though they're doing FF49, which is one of my favorite comics of all time, I still am not interested in these Disney, like, homages. It's just, I'm done. I'm over them. They ran them into the ground. They just ran them into the ground the last few years. But with that said, there's a real nice Sue Storm here. I do like this cover. It's very nice to look at. Then we've got the Scotty Young, which is actually going to be a connecting cover set. So we'll look at these as we go through this first story arc and see what covers that Scotty has in store for us. I mean, we can already see Thing wrapped up with the Mr. Fantastic already, so we can kind of see where it's going. But I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of that as it gets built out. We've got a foil option here as well, if you want to go with the shiny foil cover. We got incentives with a 1 in 25 here, just focusing in our big man, Ben Grimm. We've got another 1 in 25, if that wasn't good enough. And this one is actually a wraparound cover. So let's take a look at that full... I don't know how it connects because they don't match up perfectly, but there must be just some bit missing in the images that I found. So they got to connect somehow, but they don't match up perfectly. That's the 1 in 25. There's also a 1 in 50 that's a wraparound. This is a Hidden Gems cover. So you got that one. Not done yet because we still have that Disney black and white 1 in 100s they still are doing. They're still pumping these things out despite the fact that I don't think you can get $20 for these. Honestly, I mean, I've seen these things discounted for like $20 and no one's buying them still. Why do they keep making them? But with that said, we do have this, again, the nice Sue Storm cover. We'll take the trade dress off. That will be our 1 in 200. This should just be the 1 in 100 and lose the Disney book. But what are you going to do? All right, moving on. X-Men. Uncanny X-Men. I haven't really kept up with this in a long while, but I'm curious about this new character they're introducing here. They're kind of mixing in some horror elements, going with some kind of meta mutant who's in a horror film. I don't know. I'm kind of curious, and the new design of the character and these covers are enticing. So I'm looking forward to checking this out, even though I haven't really been keeping up with my Uncanny X-Men lately. But here we go. Horror Comes to Haven House. Murder Me Mutina? I don't know. I like this cover. It looks like a horror movie poster. I dig it. This is the cover A. We've got a nice cover B here as well. There is also another option here where you got all the X-Men there in the in the movie theater. That's also kind of fun. And then we do have, and that's the 1 in 25. I'm sorry. And then we do have a 1 in 50, which is that B cover, but with no trade dress. So we'll take that away. There's our 1 in 50 version. Now, with that said, keep an eye on this one. Again, New Mutant character, interesting design. People are probably going to enjoy this. People are probably going to look for this. And already there are some decent pre-sales. So keep an eye on this 1 in 50 this week, because if you can get one, you might be able to turn it for a nice little profit, because this is already selling for a bit of a premium ahead of release. Will that maintain? I don't know, but it is usually an indicator that you might be able to do good, or at least break even. Like, you're not going to hopefully lose, but we'll see. In the long term, I don't know how much we can bank it on this, but for now, people are interested in this character. With that said, that's 2 books, 3 books here. Very long ago, this was a viewer recommendation to give this book a try, and I tried it, and I liked it. It's sort of like a true story, but I mean, it's obviously fictionalized, but based on some true events from back in the past with a murderous woman from back in the day and her family. So, continuing the storyline, the kids are kind of looking into the horror monster that was in there, etc. I'm down for more, but I'm also down for more Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring. So we're getting a new story arc here with the Beneath the Trees series, and I'm looking forward to this. The first run was very good. It was very fun read. It was fun art. I was into it. It did well as on the aftermarket too. I don't know how this one's going to do, because it's not a secret anymore. So this will probably be ordered pretty heavily, but I still want to read this thing. With that said, we're getting another storyline. We'll see where it's going to go. I don't even want to know too much about the story. I want to kind of go in fresh, just open it up and read it and see what it's all about. I do like the American Psycho Tony Fleece cover that we have here. That one's kind of fun. Yeah, you know, the Patrick Bateman. I'll give you the look of the movie poster I'm talking about. Pretty well done. You know, I'm always a sucker for the movie poster homages, so I like that. They also have the storybook covers, which they did on the first run. Those also did well. And then we also have a Scotty Young. Obviously, a lot of Scotty Young action these days. Not complaining, because I do like Scotty Young's art too. With that, we've got that. We've also got that cover A. We'll take the trade dress off of it. We'll make it a Virgin 1 in 10. We'll also take the trade dress off of the movie poster for some odd reason and make that a 1 in 25. It loses a lot to me with no trade dress. I mean, without the movie poster details, it kind of takes away from the idea of it. So I don't know why I do this, but that's the 1 in 25. And then we'll also get that storybook, make it a black and white, and then there is our 1 in 50. So those are your incentive options if you want to go for those on this book as well. Now, with that said, I think I got 1 book left, and I'm surprised that this is here. Bad Idea is finally coming out with Planet Death. This got delayed a little bit. I mean, we had all the problems with Diamond and all that, and kind of delays and whatnot, but Planet Death is finally here. The number 0 issue came out a little while ago, of which we'll also have a second print to talk about later on in the show, but issue 1 is coming out, and I got to tell you, the art looks really good, and I'm looking forward to reading this. A lot to go in. There's a lot of details going into it. I'm not going to go through the whole paragraphs down below there. If you want to check them out, you can pause it and check it out for yourself. But Planet Death issue 1 is coming out finally this week with a couple of covers. Open order, cover A. I like it. We've also got a cover B, as well as a chromium edition of the cover A, which, oh, yeah, there it is. So you got a chromium edition of the cover A, but that one goes for, I think, $10. So I think it's got a little bit of a higher buy-in price because of the chromium, if you want to go for that. I'm fine just getting a cover A and want to give this thing a read. The incentives are also pretty good. And I actually did go and get the 1 in 20, the Isad Ribic, because I just really like it. It just, I don't know, it just looks cool. You get kind of like a Warhammer kind of vibe. I don't know, I just dig it. There is a Jay Lee on a 1 in 50 here, so you can get that as well. Simonson doing a 1 in 100 black and white. That's kind of cool. And then there is a 1 in 250 foil Chris Bacalo, which is also pretty cool. That's a bit out of my price range. I do like the cover. Like I said, I was able to get the 1 in 20 for like $10 or whatever, so I'm good with that. I'm good paying half ratio for a cover that I like, so that's what I did. Now, with that said, those are the top of the pile books, my top 5 books that I'm looking forward to reading this week, but there's still plenty more as part of my pull list. So let me go through the rest of my pull list and tell you what else I'm looking forward to this week. Now, in the pull list, let's see, where are we going to start off? I think we're starting off with DC and the Absolute side of things, because again, I'm still into the Absolute Universe. I'm on board, more so than I was with the Ultimate Universe when Marvel redid that. I'm still reading a couple Ultimate books, but by and large, I'm kind of done with it. Absolute, I'm hanging on for most of them, actually. So Absolute Superman, number 9, coming out. We got the Omega Men in Pursuit. Cool. Couple of covers here. Cover A, cover B. We've also got a cover C option here that's kind of nice. There's a 1 in 25 if you want to go the incentive route by Dustin Nguyen. And then there's also a virgin version of that B that will make the 1 in 1. Actually, it's 1 in 100. I thought it was a 1 in 50. I might have made a mistake there. It might be just 1 in 50. But that's how DC's been doing it lately with the Absolute books. And it goes, 1 in 25 and usually 1 in 50. So I think I made a mistake there with my slide deck. But those incentives are there if you want to go and pick them up. Now, I put this one back on my pull list because you know what? I just can't get enough. This was on the fence because I really wasn't into the Scarface. The Scarface ventriloquist storyline. It was interesting, but I didn't know where it was going to go. I'm just more into dark detective stories. I want to see the Dark Knight as a detective. I want to see more Batman doing detective things. So I want to keep reading this series. So Batman Dark Patterns, number 8. I'm in for Periodolia. I don't even know how to say it. I'm in for this story. We got the Red Hood Gang. I'm down to find out a little bit more. Only a couple of covers here. Cover A, cover B. The cover B is pretty sweet, so I think that's the one I'm going to try to get. And I just want to read this thing. So with that, let's keep it rolling. Farmhand, another good book to read. Rob Guillory. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Rob is great. I like this book. Chew was fun back in the day. I didn't read all of Chew, but Farmhand, I like it. I got to catch up a little bit more on the new arc because just falling behind a little bit. But I like the first run, and I'm still down for more. So this is part of my pull list to add to my pile, as well as Free Planet. So we had Aubrey Sitterson on here like a month or so ago when issue 1 came out, and now we're already up to issue 3. So let's see where we're going from here. I like sci-fi. I'm into this. Couple of covers here. Cover A. We got a cover B, and then there is a 1 in 25, which is a foil version of that cover A if you want to go that route. I'm fine with the A or B because, like I said, I just want to read it. So it doesn't matter to me so much with the cover art here as they're both pretty solid. Now, for whatever reason, sometimes I'm just stubborn and just can't stop collecting books. I haven't read Savage Dragon in I don't know how long, but still getting them. Still getting them. So, issue 277 is coming out. We got a fun homage here to Batman number 9, if you don't remember. So, we got that. And there's also the 70s trade dress. Those are the ones I usually get. I usually ask for the 70s trade dress because I kind of like it. I like the throwback look. And here, in case you're curious, this is the look for Batman, number 9. If you don't remember, there you go. So, pretty good homage here. Yeah. They both kind of look like this because they both are identical, except for the trade dress. But yeah, I'm getting the 70s one. Now, more books in the pile. Energon Universe, Transformers. Yeah, it's no surprise. I'm getting Transformers. Issue 22. One will stand, one will rise. More Autobots and Decepticons going at it. Cool. I'm in. I don't know what else I can tell you. I'm in. I'm into this. I've enjoyed this series. Daniel Warren Johnson has done a hell of a job throughout this run. And we're already up to issue 22. Cover A, we've got a couple of more covers here with a cover B option, also pretty solid. There's also a 1 in 10, which is a David Nakayama connecting cover. Still kind of weird how the placement and order of these coming out, but just to give you a sense, the 1 in 10s are usually connecting cover sets. They usually go in a row, but this time out, David Nakayama is building out something bigger. Looks like it might be a 6-piece more posterized kind of thing. So we'll see how this kind of plays out. But it's 19 is at the bottom, and then it goes 20, 21, 22. So I don't know why they didn't just go around the other way. Whatever. This is the order. This is what it looks like so far. We'll see how it looks when it's all done. There's also a 1 in 25 here that you can get with, big cackling Megatron. That's kind of fun. And we got a pretty sweet RC on the 22. She's now a Lamborghini instead of a strange motorcycle without a rider. Cool. Blood Type. Awesome covers. Horror anthology. Well, actually, this isn't really more an anthology. This is just horror series featuring vampires now under that EC imprint. I'm enjoying this stuff. I'm enjoying the kind of throwback vibes of the old EC stuff. I like it. So I'm in for more Blood Type. And I love this cover. Miguel Mercado, one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Yeah, more vampire stuff. There's also Andrea Sorrentino here, or Andre Sorrentino. That's also a pretty cool one. We got the 1 in 10, which mixes that kind of a homage kind of look to it. Then we've got the 1 in 20, which is also the, I don't like the detail of the, hey, let's look at behind the scenes what it looks like before the art is approved. I'm over it. I don't need to see it anymore. I think it's a waste of an incentive, but I mean, if you're into it, keep getting them. Just like the 1 in 50 being more of a, I mean, it's a cool image, but it still reads to me like a table of contents page on the 1 in 50s. I don't know why. They all look like that with all the EC stuff. And I'd want something more if I'm paying for a 1 in 50. That's all. Moving on. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people are going to be grabbing this, but I'm a sucker for the Street Fighter and the Udon stuff. So Darkstalkers and Street Fighter, I'm getting it. I just like the art. I mean, it's not a real detailed read or anything. I mean, they're kind of fun, kind of silly, but I just like the art. Cover A. We got a cover B. We also got a cover C. And there is a 1 in 5 incentive if you want to go that way. Cool. And hey, those 1 in 5s, they may not be the easiest to find because not a lot of people order these books because, again, there's not that many fans of the Capcom stuff. But with that said, Hello Darkness, still rolling strong. Issue 12, another Mercado. I dig it. Anthology horror. I'm into it. Looking forward to more. Yep, there's a little bit more down below. Got some Robert Hack inside. We've also got a Jenny Frison on the cover B, which is pretty cool. We've got a pretty sweet cover C with the eyeballs. Kind of like this cover here. It kind of just stands out. All these covers are great, including the Dan Panosian here on the Boom 20th anniversary. So I think this is the girl from Grimm. But we got a Panosian cover here and a 1 in 20, a virgin version of that Panosian cover too. Cool. Can't go wrong if you want to go that route. I think I ordered this on a blind because, again, it was Hello Darkness, Dan Panosian. I don't think I could say no. So I believe I got both of them. It's on my pre-order poll. But with that said, more books. What else do we got here? Magic over on Marvel. Villa-Lobos covers on the cover A. Great, as always. I don't know. I'm enjoying this series. I'm enjoying this series with Magic. So we've got this cover here, and there might be other covers that are covered later on, but we also have the 1 in 25, which is also Yasmin Putri. Pretty sweet cover here, too. This is another one you might want to keep an eye on because I've already seen some pre-sales looking for like double ratio already, so you might want to look for this one, too. Like I said, I dig it, so keep an eye on it. If you find it at your shop for cheap, maybe think about it. Keep an eye on those prices. Now, that's my pull list for now. Still more to come, obviously, but before we move on, I want to remind any of you out there, try Whatnot. If you haven't tried Whatnot before, now's your chance. Use my link below to sign up. Get yourself a free $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. You help out the channel, you get yourself a discount, and you know those packs are coming. Everybody loves those packs, those blind bag packs that come from Whatnot. We've had the Red Hulks, we've had the Daredevils, and I believe we got Fantastic Four ones coming our way very, very soon. So get yourself a discount and get $15, and you can start throwing some of that money towards those packs if you're into it, or some of those covers. Just saying. Now, mentioned Daredevil there. Now we're going to my blind pick. Or my blind picks. I'm only going to do one, and my blind pick this week is a book that, again, I've got no pre-review or any early access to this. I have no idea what this is going to be, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm kind of banking on it being pretty solid, at least. If not good, at least solid. So let's give it a try. And this is an Image book that I'm looking at this week, and it's The Unchosen. David Marquez did a bang-up job with the X-Men, now writing and drawing his first creator-owned project over at Image. Give it a shot. Looks pretty cool. I like this art style. I'm going to see what this is all about. I mean, it reads a little mutant-like, but I'm into that. You know, I like mutants. With that said, The Unchosen, number 1. We've got this cover A, pretty good. We've got a cover B. I also like this one a lot. Then we got a Peach Momoko option as well, which is the 1 in 25, as well as a blank, if you want to go the blank route. And if we take the trade dress off of the Peach Momoko, we also have our 1 in 50. So there you go with our cover options here on this blind pick for The Unchosen. Like I said, I'm looking forward to reading this one, and I'm thinking it's going to be pretty solid based off of everything I've seen so far with the preview stuff. Now, no viewer recommendation this week, so we're going to move on to BCW. You need your bags, you need your boards, you need your supplies. Long boxes, short boxes, top loaders for your cards or your comics, CGC boxes, basically anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe. BCW's probably got a product for you, and you could save 10% off your entire order by using my code RENA10. That's RENA10, save 10% off your whole order. Sucks to have to buy supplies, but you got to do it anyway. You might as well save money while you do it, help out the channel, and get yourself a discount at the same time. So give it a try. RENA10 over at BCW. Now, rolling on. Doom. Yep, this series is still rolling. I don't think this thing is ending until the fall. I think this is running forever, but one world under Doom. Not loving it. Not hating it as much as I was for a stretch there, but still don't think we need it to be this long. I think it's been dragged out a little bit too long. As much as I like Doom, I don't know. With that said, we've got a handful of books this week. I think we got 3 that we can put into this pile. So our first one being Doctor Strange of Asgard. I think this is the final issue of this run. So who will become Asgard's Sorcerer Supreme after, Stephen Strange leaves? So I guess we'll see that. I think this is the last issue. But there we go. Issue 5, Legacy issue 449, I guess, of Doctor Strange. I guess that's what we're going with. This is the only cover. Marvel giving only one cover to a book. Can you believe it? One cover. I'm shocked. I am shocked. Red Hulk is wrapping up with issue 6, and we're getting the Werewolf. So, pretty cool cover, eh? I believe there is another cover that is one of the other segments for later on, but the 1 in 25 by Dan Panosian is pretty solid with that Werewolf. It just looks cool. I dig it. Well, again, I'm biased. I like Dan Panosian's style. These days, it's Talavera, Panosian, Lee Bermejo, and Miguel Mercado all kind of fighting for who's got the best cover of the week, in my opinion. They're my favorite 4 right now. So, with that, there are covers for Red Hulk. We got one more book tying into One World Under Doom. No main title One World Under Doom installments this week, but Superior Avengers coming out with issue 4. Who pulls the strings? I guess we'll find out more. I'm not keeping up with this one because I just really wasn't interested in this weird multiversal villain team headed up by Doom's kid. I don't know. It just wasn't hitting for me. So I'm not keeping up on this one, but got a cover A and a cover B if you do want to keep up with it. And here's another one of those multiversal characters, the female Doc Ock that he's got as part of his squad. Now, this summer, Gotham City Sirens is taking over. This month, it's taking over for Poison Ivy, I think Harley, and Catwoman. So with that, there are also some special covers being released. So I decided to do a special little segment to kind of encapsulate all of those. So here we are with Gotham City Sirens with the variant covers that we're getting. This week, we're only getting a cover on one book. We had one book last week that had one. And now we've got Batman and Robin 23 with a special Gotham City Sirens cover. So that's pretty cool. Jay Anselato ain't bad. I kind of like it. But apart from that, we're also getting their little mini weekly story arc that we're getting here too. So issue 2 of Unfit for Orbit is coming out. Terry Dodson cover here on the cover A. We've got a cover B option here. Not too bad. Nubovich. We've got McGillen March giving us that connecting cover set, as well as a foil version of same cover. So if you want to get a foil version of it, you can, and they'll have that one with the minimal trade dress kind of taken off, and it'll be shiny foil. And like I said, they connect, both the trade dresses and the foils. I'm just going to show you the foils because it's easier to see the full image. 1 and 2 so far. You'll have to get the rest to see the rest. But there is also a 1 in 25 following the same kind of portrait poster filigree framed thing that we had on issue 1. It's not bad. Not my favorite, but I do like the detail of the poster. It's just the Harley in the middle just leaves a little bit to be desired. But with that said, rolling on the fence. So here are a couple of books that I'm on the fence about continuing to read, continuing to pick up. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of books on my pull list and the top of the pile type stuff and some of the other segments I've thrown in there. It's a lot of books to buy in a week. So I got to start making some cuts now and again. And if books aren't hitting, I got to make that call. Again, personal call. You might be able to keep reading them, or you might not want to put them on your cut pile, but I'm thinking about it here. So what am I on the fence about this week? Green Lantern Corps. I really enjoyed the first story arc. The second story arc didn't, and it wasn't enjoying it as much. Maybe Mogo can save it here. We'll see. I do like a good Green Lantern Corps story with a lot of lanterns working together, infighting, and how those interpersonal relationships work amongst themselves. I'm into that. Just for whatever reason, after the Red Lantern storyline, I just wasn't into the next bit as much. We'll see if this can kind of capture me back. But for now, I'm on the fence about whether I'm keeping up with it. And we're only at issue 6. With that said, there's a cover A. We got a cover B option here. This was a 1 in 25 on another book last week, but now this is just a C cover if you want to get that kind of Ryan Gonzalez design cover, which is kind of fun. But yeah, it's kind of weird, the inconsistency of, is this design a 1 in 25 or is it an open order? Here it's an open order. The 1 in 25 is this cover here. So if you want to go with that, it's got almost like a Jetsons or even a Star Wars kind of vibe. Not old school Star Wars, kind of shiny Star Wars, like prequel type stuff. But with that said, I'm also on the fence about Supergirl. I know I had this on the fence at issue 2 last time because I said I read issue 1. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't for me. Here we are after 2 issues. I'm still reading it. In issue 3, I'm kind of curious. I don't know. So I'm still on the fence about this one. Team up you never saw coming. So Lena Luthor, Supergirl, cool. We'll get more of that. Cover A is not bad. I also really like the Sophie Campbell writing and drawing this. I like her art. I like the other covers they offer here as well. So we got like Art Germ. Cool. There's another option here with C. We got a Lyrics Lee. We got a nice 1 in 25 here by Joel Jones. I really like this one too. Covers are all solid. Story? I don't know. I'm just still reading it. So I'm on the fence for now. I don't know if I'll keep up with it long term, but for now, one more in. We'll see how it goes. That said, if I do decide to cut it, it'll be on the rack with the rest of these books that I just can't pick up personally. So here we go with the on the rack segment. These are the books that, again, we want to keep up with. We want to see what's going on with them, but I don't have them as part of my pull list because, again, we got to draw the line somewhere. And here's the line. Action Comics. I just don't think I need another Superboy story to go back. I mean, there are decades worth of content about Superboy. So why do we need to go back? We've had TV shows. We've had multiple comic runs. I don't know. But here we go. We're going back with Action Comics. Yeah, I mean, it might be good. I just can't do it. I can't keep up with it. Cover A, not bad. Cover B, you got Crypto there. We got another shot here. I guess Superboy's wearing his red Converse because I see them here on the 1 in 25 as well. Okay. I don't know how red Converse would hold up to super speed if he's running on the ground. Those things would fall apart. But hey, what do I know? Moving on. Aquaman. I've just never been a big Aquaman guy. So I'm not picking up the Aquaman title. But with that said, I can tell you these covers are really good. Like cover A here is not bad. But look at some of these other ones. Here's cover B. We got a crowned Aquaman there. Pretty cool. Mara and Aquaman on this cover C. All solid. All good covers. Mark Spears giving us a cover this month that looks like one of those old school DC trading cards with some wear and tear and some distressing all around the outside. Dig that. I dig that look. It's a solid cover. All solid covers on Aquaman. I'm just not into reading it, but all these covers are pretty good. And then there's a 1 in 25, which it's not bad. I mean, with Shark Week here or coming up soon. I mean, Shark Fest is going on, but Shark Week is coming up. Cool. Granted, I like the open order covers a little bit better than the incentive, but I just say across the board, solid covers for Aquaman. Just saying. Batman and Robin is another title. I was reading for a little while there with the Simone DeMeo art and the interiors as well as the covers. It was a fun run. I just couldn't keep up with it. Too many Bat titles, too much. It's too much. Just can't keep up with everything. But Batman and Robin's still running. 23 issues so far. Cover A, solid cover B with the looks like the creature from Rick and Morty, like a Cthulhu or something, chasing them. Solid cover C. And we even have a 1 in 25 that's not bad. All the covers here, once again, not bad. Not bad options. Just saying. Fire and Ice, When Hell Freezes Over. Read the first issue. We get the Freaky Friday kind of thing going with their powers being swapped. Looks like maybe they got them back. I haven't been keeping up with this series again because it just wasn't for me. I just wasn't for me. But issue 4 is coming out here. Almost done with this mini. 2 cover options with Dodson A, and then you got a B cover there as well. Cool. Trinity, daughter of Wonder Woman. Character I don't know if anybody asked for, but we got her anyway. Girl Wonder meets Boy Wonder. Fun. Cover A, it's all right. I really like this Ben Oliver. Yes, this is an homage to Death in the Family, but this is a corgi in the family because apparently she's hunting corgis. I don't know, but they managed to capture just that sad. I mean, Ben Oliver managed to capture that. Just look at Sad Batman by Mignola there. It's there, but it's more in the eyes than in the mouth. Like Mignola had to sell it more with the mouth because of the mask, but I don't know. I like this cover a lot. Just saying. Even though I'm not really a Trinity reader, I do like this cover. This cover's not too bad either, but I don't know. I like the homage. And then we do have another option here, as well as a 1 in 25 option there. I think when you look at all these covers as a mix, I have a hard time figuring out how old is this girl supposed to be. I don't know. Like, the ages could be all over the place. She in her 20s? Is she 13? I don't know. All I know is some of these covers are all right, but not all are for me. And then we got a 1 in 50 where she looks like she's 6. So once again, I don't know how old this girl's supposed to be in this book. I'm not reading it, to be fair. If you guys know, explain it to me down below. I'd love to have a quick little recap, but I just wish somebody would tell the artists so they can all get on board and be consistent. With that said, moving on. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Nation. Now, I did dip back in and check out the Jason Aaron Turtles run. Looking forward to the next issue there. I'm going to try to catch up on that series. Not reading Mutant Nation, though. Not really interested in catching up on Mutant Nation. Though there is a Fugitoid appearance here. I mean, I don't know if Fugitoid's been in this run the whole time, but hey, throwback, right? There's your A and B covers. Baxter Stockman for president. Cool. And there's a 1 in 10 that is featuring Fugitoid. So there you go. If you're into it, go pick it up. The Power Fantasy. I thought this would be something that was for me, but I just couldn't connect to it. I don't know what it was. Maybe there was just too much going on. I don't want to say too much to read. For whatever reason, Power Fantasy never hooked me. Kieran Gillen, I thought it would, but it just hasn't. Granted, I haven't gone back since the early days. Let me know if this is a good series and I need to go back and catch up. But issue 10 is coming out. Cover A and a cover B. Keeping it simple. I like that. But the series itself, I just couldn't keep up with it. Moving on. Radiant Black. A lot of fans, people out there say this is good. 35 issues in is a lot to read. I don't know what's going on with this Radiant Black universe. I know there's a few titles connecting stuff, Rogue Sun, etc. I'm interested, but I don't know when I'll have time to catch up on something like this. So a book like this, Radiant Black, is just kind of sitting on the side for me, the massive verse. This is the cover A. There is a cover B, which is a connecting cover that's been for this entire arc since they've come back. Here you go. I'll show you what we look like so far. I think there's one more on the way to kind of finish this out. It's that second cover doesn't match up right with everything, but hey, that's how it was built. It's supposed to be connecting, but just the pink circles, there's not enough room for them, or they're not in the other images. I don't know why. But with that said, there is a 1 in 25 foil edition here as well if you want to go that route. So, moving on. Marvel, I'd made this cut recently. I was enjoying the Laura Kinney Wolverine, but I told you, all Wolverines eventually I just get bored of after a handful of issues and I move on. And that's what happened to this one. I just moved on. Don't know what's going on. I don't know. Haymaker returning, I guess, is a good thing. I don't know. Cover A, we've got a cover B option here. Both solid, as well as the 1 in 25. All solid covers, but it's just couldn't keep up with the title. There's too many books, too much competition for my attention. I just wasn't as into it after a few issues. Miles Morales Spider-Man. This is another situation. I feel like I should like reading Miles Morales, but I just can't seem to keep up with it. Maybe I'm just too old now and I can't connect the same way. I don't know. I like the movies. I like the cartoon, the animated films, but the comic itself, I'm in and out. I'm just in and out. Issue 35, this crossover God War Part 4, I guess. Almost done. This is the cover A. There is a cover B, which is a connecting cover. So much like the other set, I'll show you this one. So far, I think there's still another one still to come. But I don't like it when a character's like repeated, though, in a connecting cover set. Personally, I like it to be one image that makes one thing. I don't like the fact that there are 4 Miles in this. Fighting away. I don't know. It's the pet peeve of mine. I just like a connecting cover set to be one big image, just one, 1 Miles. I get it. He's fighting along through all these different people, but I don't know. Something about it just doesn't sit right. But we do have more Power Lift. You're still into that. I know a lot of people are big fans of the character, specking on the character, I guess. But the 1 in 25 here is really solid, and it reminds me of the old school Sarah Pichelli variants from back in the day that some of them do well. Remember the one with him between the 2 taxis? It just gives you that kind of vibe. I like it. So this 1 in 25, I think is Simone DeMeo. Ain't too bad. Moving on. Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. Told you, I'm just not keeping up with the Ultimate Universe. And the first issue got a little hot because of errors. There was some messed up text or text missing, so they had that going for it. But issue 2 coming out here, Miles and the Ultimates versus Black Panther. I don't know. Like I said, not keeping it up. Cover A. Cover B, solid. This cover C is really nice. I like the 3 Spider-Men together. I like the image. Pretty cool. There is a 1 in 25 option here as well. And then we'll take that B cover, take the trade dress off. That'll be our 1 in 100 because Marvel likes to do that. Now, moving on. Number ones. Yes, we got a handful of new number ones coming out this week as well. So let's see what we got here. Now, new number ones. We are going to start, I believe, with DC. Gotham by Gaslight. A League for Justice. So kind of continuing these Gotham by Gaslight like stories and minis I've been running. I haven't been keeping up with them. I did like the original Gotham by Gaslight. I can get into a steampunk era if I'm in the mood. I just haven't caught up or kept up with these other minis, so I don't know. I'm kind of curious though. You mix in with all the other characters, you get to see everybody redone, steampunky. But whatever. Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice, issue 1 coming out. Cover A. More text about yada yada, what's going on in the storyline. The covers here are great. DC has been killing it with the covers lately. Like this B cover, solid. As solid could be. This Sienkiewicz, awesome. I really like this. I like the tone, the vibe. This is one of my favorite covers of the week here. Then we do have a 1 in 25, which is all right. You get kind of a old school Frank Miller kind of vibe a little bit there. But, I don't know. The Sienkiewicz is probably the winner for me. Now, we're also getting, again, I don't have the oversized section anymore. So this would have fallen in there because this is a treasury-sized Superman. So it's going to be a big-ass book of Superman. Also comes with a big price, $15. But here we go. Superman Treasury 2025, a hero for all. Celebrating the summer for Superman. So just more and more Superman stuff all over the place. We've got that cover. We've got this cover here by Jurgens and Breeding. Cool. I don't really care for it all that much. Then we've got a wraparound cover with heroes and villains, but they don't really match up. But this is a wraparound. Heroes on one side, villains on the other. Okay, cool. We've got one featuring the movie. So you like the movie poster? Get that large size here on an oversized book. Cool. And then we also have a shiny foil. If you want to take that cover A, take the trade dress off of it, slap some foil on it. There you go. You got that option as well. I'm sitting this one out, though. Fantastic Four, First Steps. So kind of a lead-in, I guess, comic to the new movie. Cool. I guess, I don't know. I'm not real big on comics that are prequels to the movies. It just seems like force cash grabs. I don't know. But I do like the cover here. Noto, pretty solid. Yeah, Fraction, Mark Buckingham. I mean, they got a solid team doing the writing and the art there. There's a cover B, and there is actually a cover C, which looks very similar, but it is the old school uniforms as opposed to the new school movie uniforms. So if you like your classic, classic costumes, you got that option there as well. And again, this is an homage of sorts to that Fantastic Four #1. So cool. With that said, it's Jeff, Infinity Paws. They're taking all these online comic books and printing them and charging a decent amount for them. So $7 for this thing. Yes, it's 56 pages, but I don't think I need 56 pages of Jeff personally. I get it. He's a fun, cute little character. He sells merch. You play with him in a video game, in Marvel Rivals. I get all that, but I don't see the need to read these books. That's just me. But whatever. But we got an issue one shot, whatever, with two covers, cover A, and you got a cover B there with all these fun, Marvel pet characters. All right. Predator, black, white, and blood. I like the touch of the green because the Predator's blood is green. Kind of fun. I wish they really would have leaned into that, though, because there's too much red here. I really wish they would have leaned into the green and went black, white, and green for the Predator's blood. I don't know. I think that would have been a much better look and been more unique, at least for like the first issue. They could have then went whatever. But here we go. Solid cover. Solid cover. It just looks more like red disco lights than it does blood. So, I don't know. I mean, here's some blood. Human skull. All right. Kind of a cool, but still would see a battle damaged Predator. Could have also been a cool look. But I do like that cover on the cover B. Cover C here ain't bad. Getting eaten by a dinosaur, I guess. That's fun. Still, would have liked to see some hints of that green. And then we do have a 1 in 25 option here. Not bad. All solid. And then we'll take that cover A. And yeah. It doesn't really match up 1-for-1 to do the trade dress taking it off because of the way they put the border on this book. But yeah, you'll get a virgin version for the 1 in 100. So with that, let's move on to Archie meets Jay and Silent Bob. I know what you're thinking. Why are they making this? I'll tell you, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm damn curious. Kevin Smith, it is not for kids. This is not approved by the Comics Code. So who knows what kind of storylines we're going to get in here with Archie and the gang meeting Jay and Silent Bob. So I don't know if like Jay and Silent Bob are going to the Archieverse or if Archie and the gang are coming to, the quick stop. With that said, this is the cover A. Nice homage. Oh, there's more text here about the Snoogans and whatnot. But here we go. It's a cool look to the DVD case. Well, it actually was on the movie. There was a movie poster that looked kind of similar, but there we go. There's also a black and white version of this cover, which is also kind of fun. This is probably the one I want to get because it reminds me more of Clerks, because Clerks was in black and white, as is the poster here. We've also got this option here by Francavilla. We've got more options. We got tons of options, just to be honest. Not to mention, there's a lot of exclusives out there too. It's just lots of covers. Here we go. 2 more. Yep, we got another one. Sharing a soda. Cool. Here's another option with them destroying, I guess, Riverdale. What else do we got here? I think, we got foil editions too of that cover A and that Francavilla. The foil options of those, I didn't feel like bringing them up on the big screen again. You saw them already. Just now imagine them shiny foil. I actually did buy this because I told you I'm a sucker. Dan Panosian doing Archie and the gang, so I bought it. With that said, it's a 1 in 10. There is a 1 in 25 as well by Mike Allred. Not bad, but I went with the Panosian for the 1 in 10. It was also only like $9. And considering the regular edition costs like $7 anyway, it was a no-brainer for me. So I went and grabbed the Panosian 1 in 10 and went off of Midtown this week. With that said, moving on. Return to Skull Island. So here we go. Apparently, this is following up on the animated series. I haven't had time to check it out yet. It's over on Netflix of Kong going back to Skull Island. This comic is an official continuation of it. So there we go. Cover A. We've got cover B options here. I don't know what that weird lion, dog, tiger thing is. Big close-up on Kong. Cool. Sort of a logo thing here. With the skull. Not bad. Let's take that first cover, and there's also a sketch cover that's in green. There's a foil edition. If you want to get a shiny foil one, I added the foil effect. I don't know how it's going to look in foil. I added that effect just to make it distinguished from the other cover, because there is also a third option of that same cover where it is a virgin. So, yeah, so you can get a trade dress, foil with trade dress, or the virgin. And they're all open order, not incentives. With that said, let's move it on to Rick and Morty versus the Universe. Now, I've not been a big TV show comic book fan. I do remember I did have most of the original Rick and Morty comic run, and those were kind of collectible for a time. But here we have a comic book event coming, and Rick and Morty's back. Well, actually, I think they might be taking a little bit of pause. I didn't see a new episode this week, but anyway, I'm a Rick and Morty fan. This seems interesting, but what's more interesting to me is a cover we're going to get to down the line. So here we go. This is issue 1, the cover A. Couple interesting covers here. The cover B is not bad. Creepy. Messed up. Looks like Radiant Black here. A little bit with the cover C. Actually, it doesn't, but at a distance, it looked like it for half a second to me. Then we got those all open order. Then we got the sketch cover as well. But the one that's really standing out to me, because I remember here, I was told this, but couldn't say anything about it too early, but Flops. You guys know, I'm a big fan of Flops. Him doing a cover for a bigger publisher, Oni, not just a Kickstarter cover, and also Rick and Morty, I'm in. And it's a connecting cover set. 1 in 10. So that's going to be a set that I'm going to go and build out personally. But there we go. 1 in 10 by Flops. I know I'm biased, and that's why I'm telling you to keep an eye on it, because I like Flops. But who knows? Right now, I don't think it's doing anything crazy on the market, but you never know. You remember how that Kanto book did. It's out of nowhere. So, and a lot of his Kickstarter stuff does very well too. So just so you know, there is a fan base. With that said, we got more covers here. We got a 1 in 20, and we've got a 1 in 50, and we still have a 1 in 100 for you as well. A lot of covers for this book. But like I said, the Flops is the winner for me. Moving on, Toxic Avenger. Yeah, we know that movie's coming. We saw that trailer, right? It looks like it could be entertaining. Even though I thought it was scrapped, it could be something. I don't know. It's a movie. But here's a comic as well. Cover A. We got a cover B. We've also got a sketch. And the cover A is also polybagged with a trading card. So there is a trading card version as well. So keep an eye out for that if you're into the card thing. And finally, our last new number 1 for the week, Wild Animals. Crime story, revenge. I'm kind of intrigued by this one. I might try to pick up this one from Mad Cave. It says, perfect for fans of gritty crime thrillers like Criminal and Parker. Brisson and Kuhn deliver a hard-hitting, high-stakes story that pulls no punches. All right, I'm kind of into it. I mean, I'm still listening to Reacher books on my commutes to work, so I'm into that kind of vibe. So, cover A, cover B option here by Robert Hack, pretty solid. Something about I think his parents were killed by crooked cops or something, and now he's finally out to get revenge. I'm curious. I'm probably gonna give it a look-see. But with that said, let's get on to the end of the show, facsimiles. So here we go with the segments. We don't have a lot this week with the separate segments, but we do have a few in the facsimile and later print sections. So let's get through it and get to it. Work in progress. New thing DC is doing where they're showing you the unfinished art. Makes you want to color it yourself. It is oversized. It is $15. DC is liking making these huge books lately. I Hate Fairyland is also doing a facsimile for the #1. Pretty sure you can find these #1s out there. But they have the I Hate Fairyland. You got the sketch cover. And there is also a shiny foil version of it as well. With that, they don't have the F-word one because back in the day, there was that version of these covers too, where it wasn't I Hate, it was F-bomb Fairyland. Anyway, also, Witchblade. Witchblade #1 getting the facsimile treatment with the A sketch foil, just like the Fairyland book. So, cool. If you want to get it, get your Witchblade. This isn't as easy to find, but you can find your Witchblade one still out there. But it's not a $1 book anymore. This one's a little tougher, so a facsimile at this point makes a little bit of sense. Plus, it's a classic. Fantastic Four. Continuing that run. So now we have issue 7. So they've been doing all the original issues as well as some of the highlights with the Silver Surfer stuff lately on facsimiles. So issue 7 coming out. Cool. There is a foil version of it, as well as a 1 in 25 with new cover art. Whatever. 3D version of Red Hulk #1, 2, if you want to get this. I don't know. They're making them. It's technically a facsimile, but it's in 3D, so I put it here. I don't know where else to put it. But with that said, later printings. Let's get to later printings because Marvel's giving us a lot this week. And they're giving us a lot of incentives too. With that said, let's start off elsewhere, though. Not with the Marvel stuff. Let's start off with the future is second print coming out for that. This is issue 2. So if you're keeping up with the series or you missed out, here's your chance to catch up. I mentioned earlier, Planet Death, that issue 0 has a second print coming out with issue 1. Cool. Battle Beast, for whatever reason, there's not enough of these out there. There's a third printing out there. Absolute Batman is continuing the printing. So issue 3 has a 4th printing. And it's not just Batman. Superman, issue 3 has a 2nd printing. Guess what? Wonder Woman, issue 3 has a 3rd printing. Great. In case you somehow didn't get these books, they're still printing them. Along with Wonder Woman issue 4. Absolute Wonder Woman issue 4, I should say. Getting the 2nd print treatment. Then we'll get to Marvel, who's giving us Amazing Spider-Man issue 4 with the 2nd print. I kind of like this cover here with MJ and Gwen, kind of like memory style. I like it. And then there's a nice 1 in 25. Take the trade dress off a little bit. I dig this too. I'm not going to get it, but I kind of like it. Daredevil Cold Day in Hell, 2nd print for issue 2. Classic Frank Miller style there on Elektra. And then we got the classic Frank Miller on the 1 in 25. Black and white, though. Predator versus Spider-Man issue 2. I like the art here on the 2nd print. And, well, they're throwing out a 1 in 25 option here, too. This one I'm not so much a fan of. Looks like he's fighting a bug guy. But cool. The World to Come. This one I can see seeing some interest because you guys remember, it seems like forever ago now, but Black Panther's new kid, controversial to say the least. Here we go. Now we're getting the 2nd print showing his face being teased, as well as a sketch cover of it's a wraparound for the 1 in 25. So here's the back cover of it, which will continue the image. I'm sorry. There it is with the trade dress. Keep an eye on this one because there are high asking prices, and this one is actually kind of selling for a lot because of the popularity of the first book. So now we're getting the 2nd print. Keep an eye on both, I would say, but the 1 in 25 in particular has got some high asking prices right now to start. We'll see if they get met, but just definitely want to keep an eye on this week, along with Retrovision variants. Yeah, Here at Rennavision, I like the idea of Retrovision. What? These are some fun covers. One of my favorites in here this week is the Magic one, but before we get ahead of ourselves, Fantastic Four, issue 1. Yep, retro cover. Here's that Magic cover. I really dig this one a lot. Between this one, I think the Psylocke one that's coming are probably my 2 favorites, but I really like this look. I wish this was a comic that they had made back in the day with that trade dress. I like it. Miles Morales, we got this. Red Hulk by All Red, fighting Warwolf. Cool. And then we got an X-Men book with them at the top of the movie theater. Yeah, fun stuff. That is our second chunk. I have another short coming out this week that includes the 2 books coming out next week. And then we've got another handful of books and then one more at the end of the month. I'm just going to do the shorts in 3 pieces. So I'll probably take a week off next week and then wrap it up on the 23rd and include the 30th with that one. But still a handful of books coming. Or I should say a lot. No cheesecake this week. Surprisingly, there are no cheesecake covers this week that I could go with. No Dynamites, no Zenoscopes or anything like that I could throw in there. But to fill that gap, we do have the Marvel Swimsuit Special. So with that, let's look at those covers. So Marvel Swimsuit Special coming out this week. You guys remember those posters that they sold back in the day. And there was some comics too. I remember the original ones were more like magazine size. But here we go. Issue 1. Adam Hughes doing the cover A. It is a wraparound cover. So there you go. That's pretty cool. I'm actually picking this one up because I'm a Hughes fan. And I was going to get it. The Mark Brooks, also wraparound cover, pretty solid with the surfboards. I like it. Then we do have non-wraparound covers here. We've got this option with Colossus and She-Hulk. We've got this guy here with Psylocke and Spider-Man for some reason. But not bad. I like it. Terry Dodson giving us Black Cat with Black Panther. Cool. And then we've got Gene and Scott here. And we've got that as the we'll get back to that. And then we got a Villa Lobos cover here as well. So looks like Johnny Storm with, I'm assuming, the Scarlet Witch. I don't know, but pretty cool nonetheless. Those last 2 are our variants when we take the trade dress off. So here's our 1 in 50, and then we'll swap out the Villa Lobos and take off that trade dress, and there's our 1 in 100. Who knows how these will do, but that's what we got in place of the cheesecake covers, as we didn't have any this week. So we'll see if we get some next week. But we do have a handful of regular covers just to kind of cover before we wrap up the show. Just some covers that I like. Here we go. Real quick. We've got 2 titles that I liked. I Hate Fairyland with issue 42. We got a Mike Mignola vibe here by Derek Laufman. You got a Warcorn, a Helicorn. So it's a unicorn with a stump. I don't know. Seems kind of cool, though. There's a black and white version of it, as well as a Scotty Young fun cover there, too. I don't know. The cover art's fun. It just kind of draws me in, makes me actually want to open this up and see what this is all about. And then we got Conan. Conan's always got some solid cover work here. Dan Panosian, again, one of my favorites. A little biased there in the cover A. I think there's some Virgin and foil of that as well, but I'm not going to show you those. We're just looking at that along with Riccardo Federici. We've got another option here by Valerio Giangiordano. See if I can butcher more names. As we also have Jason Sean Alexander. All 4 covers, pretty solid Conan action. Can't go wrong there. And then we have my best of the week. So while those covers were good, they may not be considered my best of the week. And here's what I got for you. I told you when we went through it, as far as incentives go, that Panosian is one of my favorites, and I'm biased. So that Warwolf, Dan Panosian, 1 in 25, despite the fact there are some variants out there that are going to sell for a premium and may go for a bit more, this is just my favorite. So that's why I picked it, because I like the art. Just like I like the Miguel Mercado here. This is my favorite cover of the week. I just dig it. Blood type, solid. A lot of competition, though. You can check out the shorts and show them all my favorites, but these 2 are my top 2 of the week. And with that, that's all I got for you. Got it in at right about an hour. trying to get it under there as best I can. But that's what I got for you on the show this week. Hopefully you enjoyed that. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all the support and for checking out the show as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know again what you think down in the comments below. Make your recommendations on books that you think I and others should be reading, and I will bring them up. I'll give them a try. I'll check them out. I'm always up for viewer recommendations for books I can read because, again, can't buy everything, so I'd rather have a good tip on what the good stuff is before I go out there just throwing my money at stuff. So I'm sure that's the case for a lot of people, similar ideas. So doesn't have to be new this week. It could be a book that's been out a couple of weeks, couple of months even. Throw out anything that you think we can still pick up at the shop that's worth reading in the viewer recommendations down below. And with that, got a few more shows planned for you this week. And I'll see you all later with some more content. All right.